What's going on, everyone? This is Sarge, and this is a beginner's guide to Skyrim for those of you who have just got the game or who are on the fence whether you should purchase it or not, or maybe you have never played Skyrim before and this is going to be your first time seeing some gameplay. I'm going to get you guys started here on how the game works out. The first most important thing we would want to know when playing this game is what exactly is Skyrim. Some of you guys are probably wondering. Well, Skyrim is an open world role-playing game centered around a medieval fantasy realm where you create, control, and develop a character. The character itself is someone you create that becomes a part of the Skyrim world and functions according to your playstyle. Now, the main story behind how Skyrim is that it takes place 200 years after the Oblivion installment in 2006, and it revolves around a player's character's efforts to defeat Alduin, who is the firstborn of Tamriel's primary deity, Akatosh. Now, the world of Skyrim is in the midst of a civil war after the assassination of the High King, and your part in this world shapes the story and is ultimately left up to you. So you can participate in the story, the main quest, or you don't have to. That's what's beautiful about this game, is that it's completely open, it's completely free. You are free to do what you want, and you can literally spend hours, hundreds and hundreds of hours doing side quests or just exploring. The world itself is gigantic, and you can spend lots of time trying out different things and mastering different techniques in the game. The game starts with you riding in a carriage next to some unknown prisoners who are off to be executed in the nearest city called Helgen. When you step off your carriage, you are asked for identification, and that is the first look at what you are going to be doing to create your character and how your character is going to start in the world of Skyrim. Now, you have different kinds of options between the type of race you want to select, the type of gender you want to use, and also the various types of looks you want to go with that character. Now, each race start off with particular advantages that help you in the game. For instance, the Wood Elves are more resistant to poison and diseases and have the ability to command animals, whereas the Dark Elves are more resistant to fire and have a power called Ancestral's Wrath. And so there's different things that you can use within each race, and selecting that particular race is going to be permanent, including the character changes, so you're going to want to decide beforehand what particular race you want to be. If you're a warrior type, you can go for Nords or Orcs. If you're the mage type, you can go for the Elves. But there's all kinds of different things you can do. You can be a thief in the game. Argonians are pretty good thieves. Bretons are ideal for summoners. But overall, what you're going to notice is that you can level up every single skill in the game. You can be a master in all the skills, but just particular races are going to have a little slight more advantage in these areas than others. So just keep that in mind when you're creating your character. Once the creation process is complete, you will move forward with the story, where you will be briefly interrupted during the execution process. We'll find an escape route with your new friend, and we'll finally be out there in the world of Skyrim, free to do whatever you wish. Leveling in Skyrim is a skill-based system in the sense the more you use each skill, the faster you level up in the game. For an example, if you want to get better at pickpocketing from your enemies, you're going to have to pickpocket more. Or if you want to get better at hacking away at monsters, you're going to have to go to a lot of dungeons to attack monsters. Now, you come with 18 set of different skills, each having several perks to master that particular skill. You get points every time you level up in the game, and these points are put into not only your attributes, which is magicka, health, and stamina, but also your skills. Your attributes contribute to your overall character stability in the game. When you level up, you get to put 1 point into the particular attribute that you would like to enhance. For instance, if you want to cast more spells often, you're going to put points in your magicka bar. Or if you want to take more incoming damage, you're going to put points in your health bar. If you want to swing your weapons more often or carry more items, you can put points in your stamina bar. So each attribute is vital to your overall character's development and will ultimately shape the type of playstyle you would want to use when playing Skyrim. One of the very first things you'll notice in the game is that the world of Skyrim is gigantic, filled with lots of different venues and places and dungeons that you can find just by exploring the world. And now, without any sense of direction, it can be very exhausting. So the best way to get that type of direction you would want is by performing quests. You perform these quests by talking to other NPCs that are just walking around in certain towns, or by doing the main quest that comes up in your menu. To bring up your quests, you hit the J key, and by clicking on that particular quest, it shows up on your map or on your compass bar that you have at the top as a marker to direct you exactly where you would need to go. Now, you can get around faster by pressing the Alt key, which is your sprint button, or by purchasing a horse at your nearest town stable. There's also an instant teleportation button that teleports you to any town or venue that you have pre-discovered, but keep in mind that in order to teleport to that particular location, you're going to have already discovered it in advance. The three keys you're going to be using a lot in the game is your tab key, your Q button, and your Z button. The tab key is a menu of all the items you have, the skills you want to level up, the spells you want to cast, and the traveling system in Skyrim. The Q button is a short hotkey that you can bind everything to. So if you want to bind a particular weapon you have, or that you like to use in others, or a particular spell you like to cast, you just go to that spell in the menu by pressing tab, and then press the F key to bind it to Q. You'll find out later in the main quest that you are part of a type of group of people who were called Dragonborn. These were people who slayed dragons and absorbed their souls and were able to communicate with them via shouts. These shouts are bounded to your Z key, and you unlock these as you progress in the game. So as you discover more venues and you participate in a lot of different type of quests there is in the game, you're going to be unlocking more shouts. These are type of words that you learn that enable you to tackle on and fight dragons. So Z key is very important in your overall progress in the game. You can use your scroll wheel to go into first person view, whether you're casting spells or shooting arrows for precision shots, or you can back out into the third person to get a view of your surroundings. Your left and your right click are the actions you perform in the game with your hands, and it's a combination between two different types of weapons, items, or spells. You can mix and match either one, whether you want to have a spell in your left hand, a weapon in your right, or you can have both spells in two different hands or two different types of weapons in each hand. Keep in mind that there are some spells and some weapons that require both hands to master. You can also equip a shield that'll help you block incoming damage whenever an enemy is attacking you. If you have the same type of spell in each hand, you can perform an amplified version of that spell by left clicking and right clicking simultaneously. This is what is known as a power attack or a power effect, depending on the type of spell you're casting. This also applies to weapons. If you have dual single-handed weapons in each hand or a double-handed weapon, to perform additional power attacks in the game, you can either run towards your target by using the shift key and then clicking on the button that wields that particular weapon in that hand, or use your sprint key, which is the alt button, and then it'll perform another power attack. To unlock new spells, you'll need to find what is called a spell tome. You can get these by running around in the dungeons, performing certain quests, or purchase them at your nearest mage shop. This also applies for items and weapons in the game. When you slay a dragon, you absorb his soul and are able to unlock brand new dragon abilities. These abilities are in the form of dragon words called shouts, and you unlock new shouts by performing either the main quest or finding dragon shrines throughout the world of Skyrim. Dragons roam free in the world of Skyrim, so make sure you're always prepared when you're about to explore or travel in the game. One of the final things you'll need to learn about the game is how to survive, and you can do this with a combination of having allies that you can fight along with, or by keeping your health bar up by using a combination of foods to eat to restore your health, health potions that you can purchase at your nearest shop or find them around dungeons, or by casting a healing spell, either from a tome or a scroll. You can either find all of these items throughout dungeons that you play in the game, or by performing quests or finding vendors that are in towns. One of the very cool things about the Elder Scrolls franchise is that you're able to craft and enchant your own items. You can do this by finding various materials throughout the entire world of Skyrim, or by purchasing them from the vendors that are in your nearest town. One of the great advantages of crafting or enchanting is that you're going to be making some of the best armor or best items that the game has to offer. By crafting and enchanting more often, you're going to be better at it, and the more better you are, the more stronger and durable these items you're going to be creating. So keep that in mind when you're shaping your character, as crafting is a really good way to get the best out of all of the type of items that Skyrim has to offer. Not to mention, alchemy is also a great tool to make some of the best potions so that you last longer in battle or take out your enemies quicker. Well, I hope this video has helped you begin your career in Skyrim if you haven't already. If you guys want to see some more guides and tutorials, please don't forget to subscribe or leave a like to see some more. Also, leave comments in the bottom if you would want to see particular guides or tutorials from myself. My name is Sgt.Enigma. I'll have a lot more ready for you guys in the future. Till then, I'll see you guys later. Take care.